Hi, welcome back to Technology Application in Smart City. This is your first topics course about the introduction to the smart cities. This is Unit 2, the GIS remote sensing application on smart city. Let me introduce to you some of the core values of the smart city and the reason why we're offering this kind of course. The first one is because of network connection. The smart city tries to connect the people with the process, with the data, and all the things. And also, the smart city fully use all the information communication technologies, and also try to improve the living standards. And the best part is to enhance the people's satisfaction about the happiness, live in the city or live in this part of the world. So the core value of the smart city regarding is the digital communications. We can use different kind of communication scale, such as the SIM card, the cell phone, the Wi-Fi, the internet, everything. And also using the remote sensing, either from the satellite or the aerophoto or UAV or some kind of surveying technologies. And we try to use the wireless device, such as internet, such as SIM card, and virtual platform. Lots of things we'll be able to see that through AR, through VR, through different kinds of systems. So that's the core values of the smart city. So regarding the smart city, we have to mention about Internet of Things, which means everything should be connected. So when we say in a smart city, we say it always use all the Internet of Things to contribute to the entire city, which means among all the cities, everything will know everything, which means all the different kind of instrument, or the different kind of interconnected, or the different kind of intelligent device, and also intelligent analysis. So when we say the instrument, we say use different kind of smart devices can provide innovative services to the people, and also the interconnected, because we can use the Wi-Fi, we can use a broadband, and also smart network can provide a very good, very convenient services. So everyone will be able to get what's happening in the city, and also the city managers or those bureau managers, they'll be able to see what's happening in the city now. And that's how we make the city become intelligent city. Because all the smart city or the good developed innovative technologies can service and provide a value-added services. So that's the best part of the smart city. So the objectives of the smart city, we have to go through cooperation, go to the sharing, and have the decision making will be able to enhance in the city. So there are 3 steps of the smart city. The first one is information integration. We have to collect all the information by different kind of sensors, or information by different kind of table, by different kind of words, or by different kind of photo or video or whatever. And then we can go to the step 2, information application service. You have to have good platform to analyze all the information, to get to know what it means on the back. And also you can go to the third step, means information analysis, and also provide a good decision making. That is the most important part as a city to become a smart city, because you have to get to know all the information and you can analyze that. So in the entire 36 courses, you will learn how we can analyze those kind of information, how we can get information by different kind of device. So the smart city can provide to different aspects in the city, such as the tourism, such as environmental monitoring, such as the transportation management, such as sustainable environment, such as economy, and also disaster prevention things. Those are all the major things concerned about a city, and also all the decision maker, they always try to make better the city environment to provide to all the citizens. So in this course, you will learn how we can provide those kind of device, how we can provide those kind of technology, and how we can analyze and make the final decision for the decision maker. So this is new vision to the smart city, which means a city is very, very smart enough. So it has all the sensors to detect and to monitor everything, such as we always know the air pollution, the air quality. We always know if there is enough power supply. We always know if there's enough water resources. And how about all the waste? And how about all the different kind of things? How about all the vehicles running on all the roads? So we can monitor, we can analyze, and we can always do those kind of things in urgent need. So when we say this smart city, we always use several words. The first is artificial intelligence. And also the second is Internet of Things. So we combine those two words together, it's say AIoT. So AIoT in a smart city communication is crucially important because in the smart city communication, we can always put a lot of device. As you can see in this graph, there are so many different kinds of device can provide for a city to get to recognize where and happening what kind of things. For example, if there's floods, if there's very bad air quality things, or if there's very serious car accident, all the camera or the sensor will be smart enough to communicate all the information directly back to the service center. So from sensors to service is one of the most important things as a smart city. Because all the smart city concerned about the people, concerned about the service platforms. So we say we have to use certain kind of service platform. So that's a GIS. And lots of sensors we can build that in the building. So we say build environment and nature environment. Either it's a construction or it's a nature farmland or nature slopeland. And also we provide to use the Internet of Things. We say IoT. So smart city technologies is synchronize the entire nature environment with the people. So that's why we say from sensors to services. So the design goals of the smart city, there are several steps. And the most important one is to improve the urban environment. Because for each urban environment, there are always good nature resources. There are certain limitations of the solar energy, there's certain limitation about the water resource, and there's certain limitation about the air, about the capacity. In any city, we say the carrying capacity of the entire city. So if it's good designed or good planned for the smart city, we can get a very good financial things, the entire economy developed in the entire city. So when we have a good nature resources preserved or conserved, then we can have a good finance, then we can improve the liabilities, which means we can enhance the standard of every people, citizens' living standards. So we can use some kind of infrastructure, use some kind of services to all the people. So that's the design goals of the smart city. And let me explain the smart city using different kind of example. All these kind of example you'll be able to learn in the future courses. So one of the very good example in Taiwan is a country with all different kind of nature disaster. One thing is earthquake, another thing is a typhoon. So in Taiwan, we try to build up a certain monitoring station along some of the slopeland and also in the mountainside. And all those kind of facility is automatically transmitted back all the information. And there are several ways of communication. Like in the locally, we can use different kind of telecommunication companies providing the SIM card or the Wi-Fi or the satellite communication. And also we can use the local vehicle which equipped with different kind of sensors such as camera, such as lots of different kind of geophone and such as the rainfall gauge. Or we can use a UAV for above environment monitoring things. And all these kind of things, and also use some kind of portable unit for a person to carry the entire device to the mountainside. Then we'll be able to transmit all the information directly, simultaneously back to the emergency center whenever there's possible a kind of disaster happened. And through the kind of web services, all the information will be able to provide to either university or either to the people. The most important is to the decision maker to make some kind of decision if they need to go to the shelter in very beginning, or if they need any kind of alerting systems. And also inside the city, there are lots of smart security applications, such as there's so many different kind of camera along the street. And using all this kind of camera, using all this kind of sensor, we'll get to know that the sensor be smart enough to know if there's car accident, if there are traffic, or if there are any accident. For example, the fire. For example, some kind of floods. So those kind of smart security is also very important in a city. And one of the last example is about the smart food security. So in Taiwan, we have limited land resources can provide as a farmland. So the government tried to produce a very good food security to supply our own food. Among those kind of food security, we have to know who is planting what kind of crop during which season at which location. So among all those information, we need very, very good sensors, we need good systems, we need good communication between the farmers, between the local government, between the central government. So all the kind of food security application will be able to say it's a smart agriculture. So we say agriculture information and decision support. We have to know if it's drought or if it's too wet or the temperature is too high or too low. So there's certain kind of crop modeling things. And we have to know if there's kind of disaster warning to the farmers. And we have to know what about the sales market and what about the production sales warning, and also the agricultural land management to have a good manage to our farmland. And we depend a lot on the statistical analysis from previous one or from either this month or this week or even for today's, because we have to know about the sales. So that's all concern about the smart city. And among all those kind of information, we have to use some kind of good visualization. So also, in the future course, you will be able to learn about how we can make all this kind of information visualized, which means so that most of the people, they understand what the table means. They understand what the number means. So we can very easily use the photos, use the satellite image to represent where happening what kind of things. And we can use the pie chart, we can use a lot of different kind of graph to represent the changes, to represent the specialty and the temporary changes of everything. So that's how we call a smart city, because lots of things we depend on all the information. And for all the information, we need a very good device to collect and also to interconnect it with each other. So this is about the course of this unit. So thank you.